Good morning, YouTube. Okay, today I have a thrilling person to introduce you to, and she is another wild, sexy life chick. So I cannot wait for her to share all the things. Instead of me doing the introductions, I figured I would ask her to share a little bit about herself and her passions. Kai?
Thank you. Thanks for doing this with me today. I really appreciate your time.
It's my pleasure.
My name is Kai Baylis, and I have been, I guess I consider myself an entrepreneur of consciousness. I've done lots of different things in the last 20 years. My background started off as a massage therapist, and I've kind of grown into energy healing, into yoga, like Qigong, all sorts of different lifestyle practices, raw food coaching. In the last 13 years, my passion has been more around Tantra yoga. So sacred sexual healing arts, and mainly the consciousness evolution piece of it. The body work piece and the ability to be holistically happy on all levels. Tantra was really a component that tied that in for me. And then most recently, I'm the visionary for Bliss Boogie.
Yes, which is an exciting topic we're going to dive into, which I am going to be there. I'm so excited. Caleb and I are 100% down to experience this amazing adventure.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be pretty phenomenal.
So let's piggyback on that. What is Bliss Boogie? And why should people check it out?
Yeah, Bliss Boogie is a sex-positive, consciousness-raising festival for dancers, lovers, seekers, mystics, and healers. And I'd like to say that sex-positive means that everybody deserves a safe space to explore who they are as a sexual being, and without shame or judgment around that. It does not mean that you have positive feelings about sex. You can have positive feelings about sex, but sex positive just means that everybody deserves the right to explore who they are and be whole.
So this is not, you don't necessarily have to come with a couple. It's individual.
Right, yeah. And we have presenters that are coming in. There's 28 presenters, 33 workshops, and it's over the course of 3 days. It's camping. You can camp if you want. You don't have to stay on site. And it has all sorts of different flavors, from dance to like mindfulness and embodiment. There's all sorts of different things about sex, like there's some kink stuff, there's some tantra stuff, there's just different ways to somatically feel and be with yourself. And the workshops are designed for you to be able to drop in so that you can maybe be pushed a little bit to the edge of where you normally live on a daily basis, so that in a community safe space you can start to have more authentic conversations with people who you might not normally run into, or at least consciously know that's how these people live in their world and in their life. There's a couple of things that make Bliss Boogie a little bit different from regular festivals. We will have a sanctuary tent, which is a place for people to drop in if they happen to get a little triggered around any of the topics. Everything that we have is going to be safely escorted through people. There's no sex out in a public area. There's no nudity, so there's not a bunch of naked people running around.
Yeah.
I know it's a real fear for some folks. So the sanctuary tent is a place that we have therapists on staff that you can go to if you get triggered, that you can kind of land safely and get on the other side of that. We'll have an orientation when you come in, so that there's a, I would save about 2 hours in your mind space for the landing process. That the orientation will be really small, right? It'll only be about 10 minutes, but there'll be a process that everyone will agree with around, like an interaction of how we are going to relate to one another while we're here, so that you have some more tools for that peer-to-peer. If you get triggered, how to repair that, where you can go to, so that diving in process is a little bit more graceful.
I love that.
Those two things I think make it really different. It's also a sober event, so
I was going to mention that.
We're not having,
which I love, because then you're coming like without any kind of filter. You're coming and you're able to experience it like pure.
Yeah. I think so often we'll use things to alter our consciousness, and a lot of these classes are conscious altering in themselves, and just for general safety anyway. But yeah, being able to have some classes that give you some concepts that step you outside of your daily norm, and then having this peer-to-peer interaction process that's kind of been laid out for you in the beginning empowers people with the space to say that, oh, this feeling that I'm having with my community isn't because of this workshop, or it isn't because of this teacher facilitated it. It's really something that is the magic that's happening between individuals. So you learn to take your power back in those spaces.
And I know I had shared this with Kai, but checking out the website, which all the links will be down below, what really immediately gave me like an actual physical feeling was the dancing part. And many of you guys know I grew up where I was not allowed to dance. So I had already mentioned to Kai, I'm like, I know there's going to be some stuff coming up for me just over the dancing side. Like,
yeah, dance has always been a big thing. Like every culture has dance in a form of celebration and ritual and grief, and even if there was something really heavy going on in the community, you would pause and you would still dance together. It's a way that we're designed to be. You don't have to be a dancer to come to this event.
Well, and it's a natural thing. Like when you turn music on, a lot of times you can't even help but start moving with the beat.
Yeah.
And so the fact that it's like a lot of people aren't comfortable dancing, I'm looking forward to exploring that a little bit more.
Yeah, I've danced in the community for ecstatic dance for at least 10 years now, and it's been super healing. The nice thing about those dance communities that the people are, it's free-form movement, so you don't have to do anything. I remember my first dance I went to, this guy was doing push-ups in the corner, like just sitting down. You're doing whatever your body feels like it needs to do. And it was just so free to see so many different age ranges and demographics of people just being themselves. And it was cool. Everybody was like, right on, everybody's doing their thing out here.
You're not worried about what other people are thinking.
Yeah, because then you are the only thing that's stopping yourself.
Right, exactly. And I know I do that. Like Shikori, which happens to be where Bliss Boogie is going to be held on that property. I remember this past time we went in October, watching some people doing freestyle movement, and I was like, man, I wish I could get up there. And so I'm glad that there's this opportunity for me to go into, okay, what's stopping me?
Yeah. Really all the practices that I do, whether it's qigong, raw food, massage, anything, I have found in every single practice there's always this hurdle that you have to get over, whether it's your mind shattering, the ability to even schedule something like that for yourself, how you integrate that into your life, and ultimately it's always you who stops that.
Exactly.
And these spaces, when you can get to have these type of interactions in a community where you're supported, because everybody is going to be confronted with some space where they're like, I don't quite feel so comfortable, but because there is this peer-to-peer interaction, the support, and the overall theme is like, there's no more work to be done, right? We're here to celebrate who we are and give everybody the space to be who they are with curiosity and like, wow, the work is already done, let's just like get together and enjoy ourselves.
I love that.
So it takes the pressure off.
You mentioned there's gonna be a lot of sessions, a lot of speakers. Would you share a little bit about some of the speakers that are coming or some of the sessions?
Yeah, I actually just started doing some interviews myself with some of the people who are going to be here, and because my background is in Tantra yoga, I noticed that a lot of the folks are more meditative, dance, like spiritual side, but I really do want to say that it is a sex positive festival, that it's not a Tantra festival. I know I actually just met one of our there's a couple of different people who are helping me organize this, and they kind of run in different circles also. So the guy who is controlling kind of the kink side, I got to meet one of the ropes play guy, and his name is Cessna, and he was a delightful, sweet guy, and he teaches how to play with ropes. So like if you want to be able to do some sexy bondage work that's really light and kind of takes you to the edge. This is all beginner stuff, so if you've if you've never done anything like this, you know, he's a really good teacher to be able to drop in and be like, what are the questions around this? Yeah. You know, we have Linda Hobbs, which is a really beautiful teacher who just moved to the area, and she's teaching mind-body connection for individuals and couples, so that as a precursor to even being able to get to things like the ropes play cast, right? You get to just learn the skills to like, how am I feeling? You know, I think so often we think feelings are like, I feel angry or sad, but there's sensations that are associated with that. And so she's been in her field also for about 20 years. She's really an expert in what she does in relationships, and so she's going to help you understand that embodied piece. We have one of the teachers, I think I told you about this last time we were together. Her name is Videhi Amir. She's actually coming in from California. She's teaching a sensual floor work class.
Yes, I saw that. That was very interesting.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about that. It's like a mix between pole dance minus the pole, with just like dance and empowerment. And she was at a festival that I was at in the summer, and I got to take her class, and it was really phenomenal to watch, again, different age ranges of people. One thing that really stood out to me about her class is there was this woman who was in her 70s who was kind of tired, and you could just see her energy was a little bit low. It was 10 in the morning, so everybody was a little bit tired. Everybody's kind of stiff. You know, we were in the class for about 90 minutes, but at the end of the class, so many people were fully alive and just beaming with like joy and feeling their own body in a way that was sexy because it was them.
Right.
You know, they were like, it was so sensual, and it was so beautiful to watch someone kind of come back into themselves who would kind of been like hiding, I guess, you know, like it more inward, and then to just watch people beam after that. So the sensual floor work class is really phenomenal.
And all of these will kind of be going on like at the same time, so you can pick and choose
where you
want to go.
Yeah, so right now we have 3 different tents, and like the kink tent will be more in the back, so it'll be a very...
I love it's called the kink tent.
Yeah, well that one's actually, the tents are going to be dance, love, chill, and play. Okay. It will be the name of them. The play tent will probably be where most of the kink stuff happens. So if that's something that you're like, it's not my cup of tea, right? It would be very intentional that you went to that part, so it would be easy for you to not have to put a toe in if you didn't, if that rocked your boat a little. There's a dance tent and then the love tent, and so we have classes going from 8 in the morning until 6 at night, and then the bands will come on from 7 to 10, and then at 10 o'clock we'll have 2 other late night classes from 10 to midnight that are a little bit of a deeper dive. One of them is actually going to be a dream incubation workshop, which I'm excited about.
Dream incubation.
Yeah, so like...
That sounds interesting. I have no idea what it means, but...
Well, there's this idea of like, you know, your dream states, you can start to work with the unconscious to manifest what you want in your waking life. So in that workshop, they spend 90 minutes kind of helping you connect to what you're creating in your dreamscape. So when you drift off to sleep that night, you can start to work with like, who do I want to be while I'm here? What is it that I want to get out of this? And what do I want to carry back into the world?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So the space, share a little bit about, like, if somebody wants to come and are coming from out of town, what do you recommend?
Yeah.
Will you have like camping spots there?
Yeah, there's a couple of different ways that they can experience it. So we have glamping tents that you can rent. I can't remember how much they are right now. I want to say like they're $450 maybe to rent for the whole 3 days, which they have an air mattress and blankets and pillows. So if you're coming from out of town, you can pay for your ticket. You can get a glamping tent and a parking pass. You can just land, come into the festival.
It's all set up for
and
you.
Everything's all set up, so you just roll in and chill. You can also bring your own tent if you want and pack that in, find a spot. You can car camp if you want to sleep in your car. You're welcome to do that. There's spots for RVs, but I don't think there's not water to run to that or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think there's hookups out there for that. But you can bring your RV. Food, we'll have food trucks. So we'll have 2 different food trucks a day. There are 2 different people who are I'm tentatively talking to about setting up that little barn area, which will be kind of a sexy, fun place for like mocktails and teas and drinks. That'll stay open till, I'm going to try to keep that open till at least 11. That way, if you need a space where you're like, I need to chill, or like I want to hook up with this person and grab some tea instead of going to music or another
That's
workshop. And then we'll also have a little rickshaw espresso tent.
That's what I was going to ask. Will there be coffee?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, coffee definitely in the morning. So we'll have coffee and like lunch and dinners.
And the kind of food trucks that'll be there?
I haven't totally nailed down the food trucks. I know that we are getting some food from Happy and Hale and from Neomond.
Oh, I love Neomond.
Yeah. I like to have, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I like a good cheeseburger and some pizza. Whenever I do anything that's like big and I'm dancing and I'm like feeling embodied or whatever, I'm like, I need a bacon cheeseburger. Like I need that grounding. I love me some juices and I love some good clean food, but
there will be some meat that's
there's a diversity. Like I like much like the festival. I enjoy tantra and dance, but I also enjoy some things that put me outside of my comfort zone.
Exactly. I'm a veggie girl. Caleb likes his meat, so it's good to know.
Yeah.
Because I know he was wondering, like, is this a raw food like event or?
Yeah, no, I like to have a little bit of everything to meet everybody. And you can bring your own foods in also. In Saxapaw, there's this cute little grocery place that you can go into and get a sandwich and stuff. So there's some things that are kind of scattered around there.
We always stop at Saxapaw on the way to Shigori and on the way home.
Oh yeah, it's
nice
so
cute.
Nice
little spot.
Yeah.
And then bathrooms. There are bathrooms on site.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we have we're bringing in porta potties, and there's 8 showers that's on site. So you'll definitely be able to like shower and use the bathroom, and we hired a cleaning company for the porta potties.
Great.
So,
yeah.
Cleanliness and safety are sexy. My 2 mottos.
Yeah, because I know the bathrooms are open, I think from like 10 to 7, or at least for Shikori it was like 10 to 7. I'm assuming it'll be the same.
But we'll probably keep them unlocked 24/7.
Okay, great. Yeah, I don't know why they don't, but
I think they have a bigger number of people. And
true.
I think they serve alcohol out there, maybe?
They do.
Yeah,
Yes,
so I think those are two different dynamics that probably can create different experiences in the bathroom.
Yes, for sure. How many people are you anticipating, or are you hoping for? I know it just started kind of selling tickets, and this is for an event in April, by the way.
Yeah, April 5th through the 7th of 2024. I've had to reverse engineer a lot of this from like talking to people to figure out, well, how many porta potties do I need and how many of this? So I've had to like set a max number, and that max number is 700. So 700 would be the max, and I hope that.
Which sounds like a lot, but when you're in there, it's such an open space. It doesn't, like, for introverts like me, it doesn't feel that like crowded. Yeah,
they have 74 acres and it's pretty open. I went there. I'm also super introverted, and I'm not a huge fan of big crowds. I need a lot of space. I went out there to a Hop and John festival last year, and they had like 500 people there, and you wouldn't have guessed. You wouldn't have guessed that. I mean, it was very open, really chill, lots of spaces to just kind of be. And we're putting someone who's helping me kind of build the space to hold the intention for what we're creating for people is Julia Hartzell. She owned the Flojo, and she owns Heartwood Sanctuary. Yes. And she's building some altars out there. So like we'll have, there's a labyrinth that's out there anyway, but we'll have some altars and some spaces that you can go and be and just connect. And, so the idea is that we want to be able to have spaces that are really chill for you. Like if the first year that I ever went to a festival like this, the inspiration for what made me want to do this.
Well, and that was actually going to ask you is the next question.
Was a festival called Soul Play. And they are in California. And I went there the first year, and I had just had this really powerful energy experience, and I was feeling very raw, and like I couldn't connect with people because I'm empathetic anyway. And then after that experience, it just felt like there was no boundaries between me and other people anymore. And I was really trepidatious around being around hundreds of people. And what I found that was deeply healing about the experience was that, one, camping and sleeping close to the earth was really, really healing for me. And two, it was such an open community that I didn't have to do anything, which was participate in nothing. I only floated around the outskirts of those tents and just listening, hearing other people having their experiences was delightful. To be like all of the constellations of like human nature. People were holding hands, some people were crying, some people were in bliss, and it was just so delightful to be able to know that life was still happening. And yeah, I left from there thinking, wow, you know, and nobody, I thought people were gonna be like, why aren't you participating? And everybody was, because of the authenticity and because of the way that they had this peer-to-peer interaction set up, there was just this real amazing landscape for me to be able to be who I was, and people were totally fine around that. I was fine with them having their experiences, and it was like a very next level situation that was deeply healing for me. So you don't have to interact in anything if you don't want to.
Well, and I love that. Even reading your descriptions of things on the website, it definitely feels like it's very much like a permission granted. So if you want to participate, you can. If you don't, and you want to go, like if you need to go sit back in your campsite, you can do that. Like you can take in what's going on and process it in however way you feel connected to do.
Definitely. Yeah. And you know, with the sanctuary, like if you went into a class and you were like, this is not for me and I'm leaving, you can go to the sanctuary if you're like, wow, that brought up something that really made me feel nervous about my partnership or about myself or whatever.
And they are going to have licensed therapists on site. Yeah. Which I think is amazing because you don't hear of that.
Yeah, we're really, really interested in making this a space that helps normalize your human experience. You know, just being able to give yourself permission to really feel in a safe and sacred way what is like what we feel, and some things that maybe we're curious about or scared of, and being able to do that in community with people who also might feel the same way. And the nice thing about blending people together is if you have somebody who's like, yes, this is my favorite thing, sometimes it makes it easier to be like, really? I'm going to go check it out then. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. And I love that you were inspired by Soul Play in California. Yeah. And you decided here in North Carolina, we don't have anything like that around on the East Coast. Yeah. So you decided to take the leap and...
Yeah, you know, I think because... I have run in these circles for, like I said, close to 20 years. When I was leaving Soul Play, I thought, right before COVID hit, I was trying to build a holistic healing boutique hotel in the area, and then COVID kind of crushed everything, really, in a very thorough and beautiful way. And I think that like pushed me into this space to really being open to the concept of a festival. Like I know I'm blessed to have known a lot of people that are in all sorts of different fields just because of the nature of my work. And on the plane ride home, I thought, I bet I know enough people that I could do something like this in the Carolinas. And because I have been a teacher of Tantra Yoga for 13 years, I get bombarded with all sorts of emails of people of interest from all ranges of things that are really seeking help in their sexuality, you know, and I really feel like that the area is ready to be able to hold space for something like this.
It's definitely something that's needed, for sure.
Yeah, you know, I really think I had lots of opportunities when I first started doing this study to move to California and to move to Colorado and other places, and I thought, I don't even want to go to Asheville. Like, I want to be here in Raleigh. I really feel like there's something special about this work, and I feel like there's something special about being able to hold the space for diversity, you know, and that is one of the most sacred paths I think that you can have, is to just giving someone space to be who they are.
Right. Yeah, which brings me to, I mean, your hope for Bliss Boogie and everyone who attends. Like,
Yeah.
I know you've kind of touched on it as you've shared, but
Yeah, you know, this is one of the questions I have for all the presenters when I do the interview for them, is what their deepest wish is when they send people back out into the wild. And you know, I would say that people get an opportunity to feel more deeply about who they are. Once you get the experience of what it's like to be able to be free, or even if you see someone else who's letting themselves be free, it plants something inside of you that you cannot reverse. And my hope is that process is gentle and supported and full of ease for people as they integrate back into the world, because those seeds that get planted in those minds grow in other areas. Yeah, so my wish is for that here in Raleigh.
yeah, I love that. And I think it's so true that, just like me looking at the person that was just dancing freely, and just that thought, oh, I wish I could, says something about me.
Sure.
And so when you hear about other people's relationships and their sex lives, if you have any of those kinds of thoughts, like, that says something about you and your body and things that you need to peel back layers on. And
yeah.
I love that.
Even the things that we don't like, right? Even
right,
the things
exactly.
that I run
that
around
trigger us.
Yeah, that runs around a lot of different communities, and often I'm like, wow, I don't understand that, you know. But I've learned over the years to be able to take pause and be like, well, there's a mirror here, and
exactly.
And whatever it is that I find that I don't like about that is, you know, it's multi-layered. There's things that I'm like, wow, that's really not my cup of tea, but there's something about why that rubs me the wrong way, and it almost always has to do with the freedom that person feels.
Right.
It's scary when somebody else is living in a way that rocks the foundation of how we are wired, and if we let that go, well, then everything else in our life might not make sense, and that can be really scary. And I want to put that in a space where it feels normalized and supported for people to step through, even if it's just a way of being able to give someone else grace, even if we can't do it with ourselves.
And just to know they're not alone. Like,
right.
These are normal things that people experience.
1,000%. Yeah.
So where can, all the links will be down below, but where can people find you and Bliss Boogie?
Yeah, blissboogie.com is where you can go to get tickets. It's April 5th through the 7th. Early bird tickets are $200. Full price tickets are $250. Tents are $450. I say that with a question because I think that's true. And we are going to do a VIP pass that'll be $450. That'll have some special things in it. Won't include the tent, but it'll include like lunch and dinner on Saturday and Sunday, dinner on Friday, the tickets, and a couple other special things that'll, like a t-shirt, a water bottle, a journal, and hopefully like an evening.
I love the journal.
Rich,
side of it. That's
totally.
So needed.
Yeah. Well, in a bag so you can shove your stuff in there before you go into the classes. Like, you got to write down what's happening in here. A little rickshaw ride in the evening of like when the sun's setting around
fun.
around the campus. So I think that'll be cool.
And again, you can buy or rent tents there. You can bring your own tent, car camp. There's also a bunch of Airbnbs around in that area, which is Caleb and I found one. So if you feel like you just need a space to go,
to not be
or
on
if you
site.
need that extra, so there are many options.
Yeah, and you can also volunteer. So if you're like, I'd love to go to this, but that's outside of my range, we have volunteer options for people.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so it's either, I want to say the volunteer shifts are 12 hours or 24 hours, so we need help setting up, tearing down, running stuff while we're in there. We have a wonderful volunteer coordinator who's helping put all that piece together for us.
Very neat. I'm very excited about it. I've already learned so much from you, and what's funny, I don't think we shared how we met. So she's also a massage therapist and was one of Caleb's massage therapists, and then Caleb kept coming home with these different conversations that we started having, and he's like, all right, you got to meet with Kai. So we met for coffee, and Kai has definitely pushed the boundaries of my own thinking in the best kind of way. So
I love that.
It's an honor to be sharing this with everyone.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I love Caleb. I think that he's fantastic. You guys have a really, really special relationship. And
it's been a journey.
Yeah, it's been so beautiful to be able to see through him all the growth that you guys have gone through, even over the years. You know. It's really amazing.
And both my girls now are all about your massages.
Yeah, it's a wonderful way to communicate with people. I think that it kind of speaks to the power of, you know, this festival, of being able to touch someone. There's a level of intimacy, and that always leads people to have just being able to feel free to talk and share who they are. And it's a real gift of the practices that I get to do.
Well, thank you so much for being willing to do this little interview. Again, all of the links will be down below. Is there anything else you would like to
Please
share?
feel free to reach out if you have any questions or concerns about anything that you're like, I have something that feels like a special situation for you, or something that you're trepidatious about. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. The email address is on the website for Bliss Boogie, and that's blissboogie.com. But I believe the email address is blissboogieinfo@gmail.com.
And that goes directly to you?
That goes directly to me.
Okay.
Yeah, you can email me with any questions or concerns that you might have, and I'm happy to help you come get your boogie on.
Yeah, and the interviews that you were mentioning with different speakers, will that be up on the website also?
Yeah, you know, I think we're putting them more out through social media, but I also might make them on the website. I'm getting a bunch of them done, that there'll be like little slideshows with the presenters, and me just asking them a few questions.
So social media, do you have like a Facebook page, Instagram? Like where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, there is an Instagram page and there is Facebook. Again, if you Google Bliss Boogie, we'll pop up there.
And I'll put all those down below also, so it'll be easy for you guys to find.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hopefully get to know more of you.
Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Until next time, enjoy your wild, sexy lives.